Too beautiful. That's what this game is. So beautiful that I passed out while playing in a party with the homies. We are talking about Ghost of Tsushima, brought to y'all by Sucker Punch. I mean, to be more descriptive, it felt like I was in a painting. Everybody's voice acting is calm and soothing. All the music and ambiance, the wind blowing, it all feels like a massage, especially if you're wearing headsets, and especially if you're in the middle of the night, and especially if you're trying to play the game while wearing a nice cozy robe, house robe with house shoes, you know. Yeah, man, this is Do-Rag Rico, and I guess we taking a philosophical look at this game. I was like, do I want to do reviews? Do I want to take a step into these games? I don't think it's going to be a deep dive because I don't feel like editing about an hour worth of me talking. I could probably do a few minutes, but let's get into it, man. Instead of a pure fiction like, Infamous or Sly Cooper, we have historical fiction. It's based in historical Japan on the island, the titular island of Tsushima. And we got Jin Sakai battling with the old ways. When I say the old ways, the old traditions, I mean, whenever you think about Eastern culture, tradition is one of the strongest things that is held up when it comes to a lifestyle. I mean, we got plenty of rules and ways of life that still exist today that have been carried on and upheld. So my first thoughts when it comes to this game is this game going against the grain, or is this game trying to teach us that sometimes traditions are not going to cut it whenever new things come around? Of course, this reminds me of Rurouni Kenshin, where Kenshin Imura decides to take on a new way of life instead of being a vicious, murderous samurai. I mean, this game here doesn't have any type of non-lethal means by going about and dispatching your foes, but that's one of my first influences when it comes to samurai. That's one of my first touches into the genre, if you would. And then also like a game back in the day called Way of the Samurai. It was on PS2. I played it on PS2. It had multiple endings, multiple pathways, and it was a game that was probably about an hour long each playthrough. It felt like it was about an hour long. So this game here reminds me of that. That's like the first time I played a game where I could enjoy the samurai lifestyle, where people had honor codes, or people decided if they wanted to be part of the military or part of the gangsters or just help out innocent townsfolk. I mean, Ghost is not gonna go into that many pathways when it comes to the choices, but I guess that's the price you pay when you want a giant, long, epic game, because if they wanted to make plenty of pathways and there was a game this long, it would probably take decades if they wanted to keep the quality up, I can imagine. So yeah, those are my first pieces of experience that I had with the type of media. Whenever I see people wandering around with straw hats, or whenever I see people in those robes with the sheaths, when they pull out the swords, moving fast, wearing certain types of sandals. Yeah, man, protecting innocent people, having a certain responsibility, seeing people be betrayed. But yeah, man, that's those are those first few experiences with that. Oh yeah, Mulan too. Shout out to Mulan. As far as the culture goes, traditions, her going against tradition in order to preserve her family, trying to keep her pops safe.
Father, you can't go.
Mulan!
Please, sir. My father has already fought bravely.
Silence! It's an honor.
This is somewhat related to what Jin goes through, because Jin sees that the way that they usually carry out when it comes to especially confrontation, warfare, and dealing with threats to the nation, the regular way is not gonna work. Standing in front of 12 dudes, pulling out your sword and trying to ask them for a fair fight, an honorable fight, is not gonna cut it. This is when Jin decides to become a fucking superhero. Now, Infamous, the last series that Sucker Punch did, you are literally a bang baby, like on Static Shock. Big ass disaster happens, people develop abilities from this disaster. Ghost of Tsushima, a different type of disaster strikes. The Mongols come on the island, arriving in fiery fashion, I should say, dousing one of your comrades in liquor, oil, I don't know what it is, setting them on fire. As soon as he gets through talking and trying to have some type of speech, some type of diplomacy, some type of rapport with the Mongols, he gets doused and fucking fired, Vince McMahon style. But anyways, you decide to go and try and get your vengeance right there. You try to fulfill this. You try to do as much as you can, but you are helpless. Everybody is slaughtered. They're not used to this savagery that they see with the Mongols. They're not used to this relentless and vicious, violent takeover that they have going on. They did not see this coming. Everybody is shocked at first. But anyways, you get knocked off of the cliff. You wake up. Your first taste of this new lifestyle is you being rescued by somebody who is usually looked down on, a thief. So yeah, you get used to different types of ways. You get to sneaking around. You get to doing stealthy shite. Stealthy shite is something that y'all look down upon. One of the things that Jin's uncle is very sad to hear about is that somebody has been poking people in the back, pause, while going through these encampments, rescuing other people, freeing people.
Oh shit! I thought that was a prisoner. It was a fucking bitch.
While Lord Shimura sees this as dishonorable and bad for their reputation, Jin is not trying to disrespect anything. He is doing this for mere survival and preservation. Now, it may be preservation of another kind because Uncle Shimura still wants to preserve the traditions, but Jin is trying to preserve life.
We must honor their sacrifice. Gather our best soldiers. We will repair the bridge and attack at dawn.
No. We've lost too many. If you had listened to me...
Enough!
There is another way.
We will discuss it alone. To be remembered.
This leads to one of the biggest obstacles that Jin must face. His own elders. Well, that one particular elder, because everybody else that he runs into understands that it's going to be a different type of unity and a new type of lifestyle if they want to combat these Mongols. While Jin accepts the fact that he is being looked down upon by his uncle, he is also appreciating the fact that he is being looked upon by people positively affected by his deeds. Whenever he's procuring supplies, whenever he's taking back territories that were sacked, whenever he is rescuing people, whenever he is helping out random people out there on the road with his new ways, the ninja ways, as we start seeing whenever he wears the ninja garb and stuff. You know, he's out here with the drip, man. Come on. Jin knows what he's doing. He's gaining that reputation. He's becoming a legend. You know, shout out to Infamous once again. He's becoming famous on the rural roads of Tsushima. But this also puts him on the radar of the Mongols, who start to recognize him as a force to be reckoned with. What the fuck, man? This is getting deeper and deeper as I go along and have more thoughts about this. This is getting real philosophical. But yeah, man, let's keep on going. The reason why Jin is such a force to be reckoned with is because he is ready to adapt. Meaning that Jin is utilizing his experiences while out in the game world to become a better ghost. See, the ghost is a culmination of Jin expanding on different aspects of himself with different individuals while he's out here. For example, we have Sensei Ishikawa with the archery techniques, teaching Jin how to dispatch foes over a distance. This is very helpful when you're going on solo missions against many armies out there. And then we have Lady Yuna, the thief, the one who's teaching Jin these stealth movements when he gets rescued in the beginning, how to maneuver, how to procure, how to do things without being seen. We even have Kenji, who is a con artist and a merchant, showing Jin how deception can be used to accomplish some of these goals.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? Let's go!
If I run, I won't be able to unite our people against the Khan. I'll never regain my uncle's trust.
If you stay, he'll ship you to the Shogun for judgment. The orders just came through. The people need you, Lord Sakai.
With Jin becoming something of an ultimate weapon against the Mongols, he becomes an asset to his uncle. They even end up cooperating on uneasy terms, taking over a few territories and clearing out Mongols at a few encampments and campaigning to take back castles. But you see, in a series of ironic, beautiful twists, Jin has learned from another elder in his life how to make poison. He starts using this on Mongol encampments, poisoning their water supplies. Anytime they think they're celebrating, they take their last drinks, pass out, and never wake back up. When Lord Shimura sees this in action, he receives it as an act of defiance against his orders. This results in Jin being challenged by either claiming his namesake or claiming to be the ghost, with the latter resulting in him being sentenced to death by the shogun. Jin proudly proclaims to be the ghost because this is what has helped him protect his people. This results in him being in captivity of his uncle. He escapes and ends up in exile, a self-imposed exile in the cold northern territory of Tsushima. While abandoned by his former family, Jin recuperates by embracing his newfound family, the ones who we found over the course of the game. You see, Jin has acceptance of other people's ways. This acceptance makes him highly eligible to build a new network in the northern territories, while reclaiming from the Mongols and also utilizing new connections that he has with everybody else that he knows. Jin is able to build up another force. And he also ends up cooperating with his uncle, although distantly, once more. When I got to the last parts of this game, I realized that it's going to be more than vanquishing the opposition on the other side of the battlefield. It's not going to be I slice Khoten Khan, and then the credits are going to roll and everybody's going to be happy drinking sake. It's going to be more internal than external. The last battle in this game is you versus your uncle. You are honoring him, and he is holding up traditions.
Honor me with a warrior's death.
Now, the end of this fight has led me to two different perspectives when it comes to tradition. It can be held to oppose anything that goes against your way, but it could also be utilized in order to incorporate and experience new ways. In other words, it can be a stance or a step.